everyone!
Hello!
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony, and we are going to dive into the world of dreams and splash around for a bit, see what our splashes churn up.
I'm splashing.
We're splashing.
Yeah, have you had many dreams?
I was gonna say, something happened in that tent, Kirsty, and now
We've swapped.
I don't dream, and you...
Oh my god.
I've stolen all of the dreams out of my head. Like,
We've Freaky Friday'd in the tent.
I've been having dreams, but
You don't remember
they've
them?
just been like, yeah, like I wake up and I'll like know. Last night, for instance, I know I dreamt about a big tent circusy thing maybe, and I know that there was something about like my mum was there or something like that, but just nothing.
Yeah.
Like everything is just so, it skitters away like soot sprites as soon as I wake up, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have been. And I was trying to think why it would be. There's two reasons that I can think of. The first is that I've not been getting very much sleep recently. I had a night the other night where insomnia just found me and would not leave me alone, and I just lay awake until like 5:30 in the morning, just
oh my god.
not doing anything. I was just lying there just thinking and driving myself mad. And then, which I know is bad because I know that after like half an hour of not sleeping, you're going to get up and walk around and change your location and that sort of stuff. Move house, leave, just abandon that bed to like refresh it. But yeah, for some reason I just lay there. And then the next few nights, like I've sort of had okay sleep, but I've been like, I don't know, it's just been real, like I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I can still sleep for another like 10 minutes, so I'll stay in bed and then maybe I'll remember my dream, and then I'll wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I've overslept, and then I'll look and it's been like a minute and I'm like, huh? And it's just that sort of like confusing drifty sleep that I'm like, maybe I don't dream very much in that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was thinking of, which is sort of a good thing, is I'm like, maybe I've not been stressed about anything. So maybe I don't need to have my stress and anxiety dreams because maybe I'm okay at the moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because there are things that I feel stressed about, but maybe I just know what they are. My brain's just like, you got this. You don't need me to tell you what it is. You already know.
See, that's like the opposite of me, because when I'm really stressed and like burnt out, I just don't dream.
Yeah.
They just all disappear. And at the moment, I guess I'm all right. Because, there's so many dreams. They won't stop coming.
Oh my gosh. There is.
But, I've only brought one to the podcast today, but I have been dreaming.
Well, there is one dream that I did have that has stuck with me. And I didn't record it because it just stuck with me so much because it was like so vivid. Basically, my boyfriend was a minotaur. I was going out with a minotaur. All I remember is he was like ripped. I just remember like there were times when we were just cuddling. Nothing saucy happened. We're just having a little cuddle. But I just remember being like, oh my gosh, he's just so many muscles, like so like absolutely just proper ripped. And then I think time passed. And I went to a restaurant and there was this guy there who I don't remember who it was, but he ordered Minotaur, and he was just, my boyfriend turned up, my ex-boyfriend, I guess. And he was like, when you see like bodies that have been, I guess like what you would expect a cooked man to look like. He was just like brown and crispy.
God.
And this guy was just like peeling strips off of him and eating him. And I was just looking like horrified, just like, I used to date that guy. Like, what the heck? That's my boyfriend. And I just woke up just like, what the heck? Why would someone eat my Minotaur boyfriend? And when I was thinking about this, when I was like waiting in the few minutes before this podcast, I was like, I'm going to just like look up Minotaur as a joke because Minotaur isn't going to be in the book. Minotaur is in the book.
Oh, okay.
Of all the things that aren't in the book, Minotaur is here. But it says, this is a section of the book we've never looked in before.
Oh.
It says, see fabulous beasts.
Fabulous beasts?
Fabulous beasts.
Okay.
So I was like, because at first I was like, I when I was saying it in my head as I read it, I was like, fabulous beasts. I was like, wait, is fabulous a word? Does it mean beasts of fable? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, fabulous beasts. But it says fabulous beasts such as griffins, unicorns, and minotaurs. In dream imagery, in order to draw the dreamer's attention to certain qualities, animals may be shown as having characteristics belonging to other creatures. Archetypally, there are many combinations which are possible, and which will give unlimited potential to the creative abilities within the dreamer. The dreamer is being shown that there is freedom from conventional principles. Given the freedom to create, the mind can produce both the fantastic and the grotesque. Such fabulous beasts are the result of trying to reconcile these two polarities. Fearsome and terrifying powers of nature are represented in this interpretation. The dreamer should be aware of his own animalistic powers and whether he can control it. So there you go.
Oh. I had a look, and yeah, fabulous can also mean mythical or with no basis in reality. So there you
I
go.
guess that does make sense.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that.
He was fabulous.
Yeah.
So the problem is here is that we could, we could try to dive into what the combination of man and cow could mean in my mind in terms of, a powerful beast. But the long and short of it is that I recently read a book about the Minotaur, and also I watched a TV show that had the Minotaur in. So I've just been thinking about the Minotaur a lot. Yeah. And I want to clarify that when I say I read a book with the Minotaur in, I do not mean that book. I do not mean what's it called? The Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I'm sorry? What? Is this something that a lot of people would turn around and go, oh, that book? What?
I think a lot of people know the cover of the book.
Oh my!
And it wasn't like that.
Oh my God.
It was a different Minotaur book, and it wasn't sexy at all.
A monster bait romance. I see.
Yeah.
Can I want to read the synopsis for this.
Oh, the synopsis.
One moment.
Does it have a Goodreads page? Morning Glory Milking Farm Goodreads. It's number 1 in a series. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s millennial.
I'm just reading this. I didn't read it out loud just in case, but you're going all in. Go ahead.
She's just like me, mid-20s, overeducated and, drowning in debt, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Milking Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and a generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is a grade A certified prime beef with the manly, meaty endowments to match. So,
sorry to anyone that listens to this out loud.
That was not the book that I was referring to. Oh my gosh, thank goodness I did not read the last paragraph. You listeners, you have to turn to Goodreads yourself if you want to read the content warnings that this is given. But it's the first one. I wonder what the other ones entail.
Why are there no reviews? Hang on, I'm on Amazon. Is there anything on Goodreads?
There's 6,850 reviews on Goodreads.
Of course there are.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a short story. Oh, lovely.
Oh, the world, delightful. 24 ounces of bull semen, not so much. 3 stars.
You remember when they said, hey, do you want to do a crossover with 0 Degrees? You know, you're very wholesome and it might be a fun dynamic. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Someone gave 4 stars and said, I hate how good this was. I was invested in capital letters. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Well, there you go. But yeah, that just because I know that this book a while ago did the rounds, it was sort of like Chuck Tingle books, you know, where people become aware of them. I just sometimes if I say the Minotaur book, I'm like, not that one. Just so you know. Not yet.
This is mild smut, even sweet smut, if you ignore the many, many milking that she actually does.
It doesn't shy away from the milking. Oh my gosh. I mean, the third in the series is called Moon-Blooded Breeding Clinic.
What the fuck?
I feel like that's not a sexy name for a book. I don't think any book could have the word breeding in the title and be
sexy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But there you go. For those interested, it was Once a Monster by Robert Dinsdale, and it is not sexy.
No
but
offense.
It's very good.
No offense to any Minotaurs out there, but the hoof situation really took me out of it.
Oh no. And go to our Patreon for a reading, a full voiced reading of that Minotaur book.
Oh my god.
Oh, I like this 5-star review that says, if you know me in real life and you see that I read this book, no, you didn't. This is just a mirage. You're not seeing me here. Shut up. Go away.
This book could kill a Victorian child.
This is the problem, is like, I see these books and I'm just like, well, I never want to read that. And then I read the reviews and I'm just like, now I'm intrigued. Why? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, this is so funny.
Someone just said, so that ... happened. I guess I'll read the next one in the series. My Kindle library is already shameful, so why not?
I think I'm lactose intolerant now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
but, you know, I love the Minotaur. I think the Minotaur is genuinely one of the most fascinating mythologies, and I have always rooted for don't take this out of context, a happy ending for him, because I hate how it finishes. And I'm glad that the book that I did read was sort of, I mean, this one sounds like a much happier ending for him, but the book that I did read gave him some sort of redemption. And that is, I've like so often I've been tempted to like write my own Minotaur myth just because I do want it to be different. Because like I love him so much. He's such a fascinating, all of that stuff is like one of my favorite myths, but in a way that it's very sad. And I wish it was different. But yes. So that is all I can bring to the dream table this week.
Get it written.
I'm afraid.
Oh my gosh. Incredible. Well, that was enlightening. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's okay. Like, one thing, I will stop talking about the Minotaur eventually, but one thing that always confused me is he is half person, half cow. Why is he so carnivorous? Like, what is it? Why is he not just like chewing
cud?
Like, yeah, I don't understand it. And for me, like, everyone's always like, he's a beast, he's a monster because he's half cow. And I'm just like, I would like to cat nerd raise the point that maybe it is the human side of him that is actually the monster.
Yeah.
That is
the humans with monsters all along.
I put my sunglasses on and I walk away from the explosion looking cool. There we go.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, the cow would not be carnivorous.
Yeah. I mean, the cow is sort of like a big, like his daddy cow is like a big beast of a cow. He's like a big, was he the Cretan bull or something? But he is like a big cow that's been sent by Poseidon as like a big like
cow.
Wow, look at this cow! What a specimen for the gods. That's a thick ass bull. But yeah, if anyone ever wants to talk Minotaur legend, hook me up.
Incredible.
But yeah,
incredible.
But I hear you also had a dream about an untamed beast as well.
I did. I had a dream about Rythian.
Oh my gosh.
And I sent it to him. He knows what's coming, bless him, because I sent it to him and he listens to the podcast because he's lovely. So no spoilers. I can't even say words. My brain no work. The Minotaur stuff is just completely. Okay.
Sorry.
Let's start that again. Yes, I had a dream. Rythian knows what happened, but you guys don't. So here it is. Okay. Right. Get ready for some reading.
Okay.
I'm reading a message that I sent to Rythian, so this is as if I'm talking to Rythian. Rythian, I dreamt you an entirely new backstory in which you were dungeon delving with a party of 4, which included an archetypal sweet, mild-mannered girl who dressed like your Minecraft character. It wasn't us. Ultimately, you got stuck in a pool of water that started draining and pulling you under, and the girl jumped in to save you, and she died for it. You took the ender pearl from her and wore it as a memento, and your party of 3 now continued into the dungeon where you ultimately died to the boss, who was named Molkin. He looked like if Totoro and Klonoa had a baby, a big mousy guy in jorts. Jump to the present day, and you're streaming on the Yogs channel for a brand deal of some sort. You're going through this dungeon again, and chat is hyped. You get to the end of it, and you beat a boss, and chat goes wild. There's a big emotional scene, which I can't remember, and chat are all ghosts charging out of the dungeon in celebration like the army of the dead. You're on the verge of tears, and you're happy and smiling, having finally avenged your friends. When Lewis comes on comms and says, Rythian, stop with the backstory stuff. This is sponsored. We don't want to see it. And I'm in chat like, hell no, I'm loving this. Let's go. As the dungeon quiets down, chat points you to a switch on the wall. At this point, you've recounted your tale to everyone and you're quite emotional, in a good way, that you've come back here as a ghost, because he did die originally, and conquered it. But as you pull the switch, a shaft with a ladder opens. You jump in, and you become your Minecraft self for a moment, just as you fall, and it looks like you're going to die when you hit the ground. Up until that point, the whole dream had been like an animatic, animated by the lovely Lithium Stars, who has done a lot of fan art and thumbnails for us for Kirbycraft. So yeah, the whole dream was in Lithium's art style, which was great. I just got free art in my brain, so that was nice. But yeah, at that point, as he's falling down the mine shaft, he turns into his Minecraft character, and he's like Minecraft arms flailing, and it's like, oh god, he's gonna die. But then as he's about to hit the floor, he feels the presence of his old party member who died for him, and he lands safely, and it's like, He stands up, and he's in like one of the Minecraft mine shafts, so like the big tunnels with the the rails and the wood holding it up and stuff. He dusts himself off, and he hears a noise behind him and turns around, and there is Molkin. He's here again. He's still hanging out in this dungeon. You turn around and you see him. Molkin, you scowl edgily. You pull out an axe and you begin to fight. End scene. And that's it.
Oh my gosh.
And then I said, is that how Blackrock went? But yeah, so that was my dream. I just dreamt a new backstory for Rythian and his Minecraft character.
Oh my gosh. Who was the character that you said Molkin was like halfway between?
Totoro and Klonoa. I don't know if that's how you say the name Klonoa. Klonoa. I never played the game, but Klonoa is
okay.
I don't know if that's how you actually say the name, but it's that character. I just sent you a picture. Chat, you can Google it. But I actually drew a picture, which I don't know if you want to put it on like the Twitter or something.
Oh my gosh!
But
yes.
I drew a picture on Paint to send to Rythian. But yeah, that was the dream, and it was quite a fun one.
What was Rythian's reaction to all this? Oh my gosh, that is a good picture. Everyone else, you have to look for socials to see
check out the socials.
This glory.
So he really liked how he edgily said Malkin at the end. And he said his favorite bit was when Lewis told him off for RPing.
Aww.
So yeah, that was the dream. I thought that was a really cool dream, and it woke me up. I've had dreams that keep waking me up really early. It woke me up at 8 a.m. I had one today that woke me up at 6, which was great. But yeah, that one woke me up at 8 in the morning. Sorry if none of that made any sense because I was reading the message and sort of adding stuff at the same time. But
no, that made sense. I did get distracted at one point because when you said Klonoa, like my brain was just like, wait, what's the? Isn't that the bird thing? And then I couldn't think of the word, and then I had to look up cloaca, and I was like, oh, that's the word.
I don't know. I think that's how you say it. I never played any Klonoa games. I assume that's how you pronounce it. How do you pronounce?
I don't think I've ever seen them before.
Yeah, Klonoa. That's how you say it.
Cute. They got like a little Pac-Man hat.
They do. It was a Namco video game. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're pretty cute. But my little drawing, I feel like Malkin was a little bit more top heavy. Like my drawing makes him look quite small, but he was a big guy. He was like big and towering like Totoro. And
yeah,
I think he was more wide and broad-shouldered.
A large man.
He was a large man. But I can only assume since he was underground that he might have been some sort of molekin. He was a mole man, maybe. So there you go. But that was him. And yeah, I just thought it was fun. There were bits that were like missing, like like halfway through after they beat the boss, like after coming back into the dungeon to avenge their friends. Like Rythian was getting all like teary, like, oh my god, I did it, blah blah blah. And there was stuff happening. Like I guess maybe he talked to the girl who died for him or something, but he got all emotional, and I was like, I do not remember / I don't know if the dream actually gave it to me what happened in that moment. But it was just like, hooray, we did it, we're victorious, and everyone's crying. It's just like, okay, I'll accept that.
I mean, do you reckon this is like something to do with like maybe missing playing Minecraft together, or could it be that you're just excited because aren't you starting like a new Pathfinder soon? Is it that you're just associating Rythian with adventure?
Probably both.
Why not both?
I always miss us playing Minecraft because I like playing Minecraft with you guys, and I love, like, it's the same as Pathfinder. Like, I love making stories with people. Like, I'm not a writer. I don't write, but I mean, I would if I could. But I'm so like conscious that I would never like send it to anyone. I would write and then just keep it in a folder and never look at it again. But
I would read your stories.
Yeah, but I'd be cringing the whole time. I couldn't. But I just love like making stories as a part of like a D&D Pathfinder campaign. And part of that kind of came into Minecraft as well. Not so much through what we did on stream, but with like fans, like people like Lithium Stars and other members of the community who would do art and like have little headcanons and stuff. And I would be like trawling Tumblr on the Kirbycraft tag, just like, oh, look at this. Like they've got this theory. I love it. Oh, and it's the same sort of thing. Like I just love like absorbing all of that information. So my brain just being like, here's a new bit of that. And it's in Link style. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take it.
I guess like, that's the thing is like with like TTRPGs and stuff, it is like a nice way to, I mean, I'm not, I want to emphasize the point that I do think it is a creative endeavor, but I also, it is like a nice, easy, because like, it's like looking at a a blank page is like, and someone just saying, write a story about this, you'd be like, whereas it just gives you those points and puts you in a situation where you do make those creative decisions and you do write yourself a little story, but you don't have to start from
scratch,
fresh. Yeah. And you can just like, you can like develop this character in like
it really helps with stuff like that as well, like in terms of writing and developing a character, because you are being that character. Like acting out a character makes it so easy to characterize them in your head and think like, oh, what would they do in this situation, you know? Like come the end of our Pathfinder campaign, our previous one, like I knew my character inside out. Like after it ended, I was like, right, she'd go and do this now, she'd do this, blah 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 blah. And it's just, you just end up knowing so much about them, like, and you could fully write a story just based on that, like, and it's just so nice. That's why I love it so much, because it at its core is just sitting around a table telling stories with your friends, and it's like, oh, what if this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then you roll the dice and it's random, and it's like, oh, okay, well this happened, so I'm gonna react like this, and it's just constant, and it's so good, and it just keeps you on your toes the whole time, you know.
I guess in a way that's something I've never really experienced, because I've only ever done one shots. I've never really had that sort of like longer term character to associate with. It's been like, 2 sessions, maybe 3 sessions at most, sort of thing, rather than like how long did your Pathfinder go on for before?
It was a year, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and my D&D campaign that I finished with my D&D group, I think that probably went on for a couple of years.
Yeah,
potentially.
Oh, wow.
But I mean that makes sense because we played every 2 weeks, whereas Pathfinder we played every week. So
yeah,
but yeah, like it lasts a long time, and I find like it takes a few sessions to get into the right headspace as well with your character. Like often when I turn up to a session 1, I don't really know what my character's like, honestly.
I think that can be the difficult thing with one shots, is sometimes like I had it in the recent mystery quest that I did. It was like a character who was very different to me, and I didn't really ever get that moment of like clicking with them. I think for one shots it can be it's like a lot easier to do like tropes and stereotypes for characters, because you can sort of feel like if someone says like, okay, you're Samwise, you're like, okay, I know what I must do. And if someone says like, oh, you're a posh stuck up lady, you're like, okay, I know who I am now, sort of thing. Whereas when you get the like more nuanced characters, you're just like, I don't know what to say. Like I was playing a like Dom was like, okay, you're all playing really smart, really successful, like best in your field type people. And I was just
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that. It's like when I first did Tales from the Loop and I tried to play the bookworm. And yeah, I do read a lot of books, but I'm not like a textbook person. And I was just like, I read the smart book in a clever, smart way. I don't know what I do.
I don't know if is that the one you played with me?
No,
I was going to say, because you weren't a bookworm in our one, were you?
No, I was.
You were like the cool kid.
Yeah,
the popular girl.
I know how to play that one though. Yeah, I'm super cool.
But yeah, for context for everyone, when we played Tales from the Loop, we were twins, and I was the weird emo kid, and you were the popular girl.
Yeah,
and it was
we were
so
like
good.
And
we both had my character had a crush on Rythian, but Rythian's character had a crush on you.
And I would purposefully do this thing where every time I spoke to Rythian's character, I would use a wrong name every time, and just like same first letter, but constantly be like, "Oh, that's so sweet of you."
Oh, it was so good.
Dear, oh dear. I just remember being so pleased with myself because there was one moment where something scary happened, and on that occasion I used Rythian's right name for the first time, and I was like, hell yeah. Bam. Storytelling, bitch. But yeah, it can be tough with like one-shot things where you're like thrown in, and then by the time, because like I've always found that the first like 3 decisions I make, I will look back and be like, oh, I wish I had not done that, because
that
like,
was wrong.
The character I know now, they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But
it takes a
sometimes
little
you
while
only get 4 decisions in a thing, and by that time you're done.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you speak of like tropes and stuff. Like the campaign we were about to go into, we were going to do Kingmaker, which is a huge like 1 to 20 adventure. But then a new one came out called Pray for Death, which is one where you're a group of assassins and it's basically an evil campaign. And I think it spans over 3 levels, so it's a lot smaller. But it's not a one-shot by any means, but it is a shorter one. So I've been like trying to think of what my character would be like. And I did sort of toy with the tragic backstory and I'm doing this because I'm sad sort of thing. But now I'm like, I might just make a huge bitch. And I've been trawling like tvtropes.com because there's a specific trope that I want, and I want to find like a list of characters and be like, yes, that's exactly the one that I want to be like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna, because for like shorter campaign, it's gonna be a serious one, so I'm not gonna barrel in there and be like, oh, hello, I'm a silly, I'm a chef pirate, and I love making cake for everyone. Here's cake, but I'm evil. I poisoned it, by the way. Let me out. No, I'm gonna be like a serious character, but I want to be a little bit exaggerated. You know, I want to be like, you know, I'm still not 100% set on it, but you know, like the kind of villain that's like, oh, this is so boring. Like, why are we even bothering with this? Like. Like
a bit like
evil is fun, good is boring, sort of thing, you know.
What's the name of the one with the fringe in Avatar?
One with the fringe.
She's one of you know, there's like the 3.
Yes, Mai or May. Is that her name? May.
Maybe.
I think it's May. It's MAI.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe not as bored as her, but we're on the right lines. I wanted to be a little bit manic as well.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, again, I'm still not like set on what exactly I want to be like. And for the first few sessions, I probably will just completely be out of character.
Yeah, because it does just, I mean, it's almost as if like the ideal way to do it would be to have like a practice session where you do like, I don't know, like something that's non-canon set in the past or something, so you can sort of get a feel for it. And then when you actually start the thing, you're a bit more like, okay, I know who I am now.
Yeah, for sure.
When you said you were doing like a more evil one, I thought you were going to be like, so I'm playing Astarion.
Well, funny you should say that. My character is a Dampier, which is like a vampire, not a vampire spawn, but like the child of a vampire.
Okay.
So they're daywalkers, and I don't think they strictly need to like feed on blood, but they're, for all intents and purposes, they are vampires.
Yeah.
And I am 90% sure I'm going to have white hair and red eyes. But I'm a rogue, naturally, always a rogue. And I've taken the Thaumaturge archetype, and the Thaumaturge class in Pathfinder, basically they have an implement, so they have an item that they carry, and you can pick from a list of items, and each one has like a different thing that it does. So you choose one and you stick with it. So, for instance, the mirror, which I was going to go with originally, it lets you basically clone yourself. Like you can put a copy of yourself anywhere on the map, and so you can like flank enemies using yourself to give yourself advantage when fighting and stuff like that. Or if like you're at a locked door, you look through the keyhole and then you can just be like, yeah, there, and you put yourself on the other side of the door and open it, sort of thing. But then yesterday I spent like the whole day building my character with Zoe, and there is another thing which is a chalice. And you have the chalice and you can like sip from it and heal for so many temporary hit points, or you can just like down it. So I'm just like, right, so I'm going to be a poncy vampire with a chalice full of blood, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Oh my gosh. How many sessions do you reckon Rythian would let you stay in for if you started going, what do you see before you? A mausoleum. You're like, right, no, that's it.
You're out.
Monster comes along, you're dead.
Well, the funny thing is, kind of spoilers, but not really for Pray for Death if anybody plays Pathfinder. But you play as a group of Red Mantis assassins, which is like a cult of assassins which exists in Galarian, the world of Pathfinder. And they worship a god, a very chaotic god called a Chakek, I think is how you pronounce it. And he's essentially a giant mantis, and he does whatever he wants. He's absolutely wild. He has no rhyme or reason to him. He's just a mantis. And upon starting this campaign, like you get like a little leaflet, and if you like do good things, I would say good, if you do evil things, which will impress the Red Mantis assassins or even a Chakek himself, you get boons. But if you defy his wishes, you get curses. And the worst curse that you can get, it literally says, hang on, I will read it out because it's fucking hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want that to happen actually, because that's just really funny. It is, sorry for talking about Pathfinder again all the time. It says, the Mantis God does not waste his time toying with or tormenting those who truly anger him, or those who dare to consider themselves divine. He rips open a portal to your location, kills you, drags your soul to judgment in a way that prevents resurrection magic, and then leaves.
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I love that. So yeah, I'm excited to play this campaign.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be hilarious. And I'm just going to be there, my little snooty vampire. And I'm a halfling as well. I'm a halfling Dampir, so I'm a tiny Astarian.
Why do you always want to be the tiny little guy?
Well, I haven't been for a while. I kind of have. For my last campaign, I wasn't. I was a fetchling, so she was just normal. She was tall. But yeah, I mean, my first character was a halfling. My tiefling was 12 years old, so she was very short.
You're a Lalafell on Final Fantasy.
I'm a Lalafell on Final Fantasy. When I played Space D&D with my D&D group, I was a ooze called Kevin. I was very small. Yeah, I'm often very small. I don't know. I loved being a fetchling though, and like just being normal human height. That was fine. I've kind of slightly come out of my scrungly era, but now I'm going back into it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to be a silly character, and I won't be like too often, but I do want to be a bit flamboyant. And I need to work out. I just want like a character that I can be like, yeah, that one, exactly. But I don't want to just pick a Astarian and be like, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Because that's just a carbon copy at that point. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's difficult though. But I guess like you say, you're over the first few weeks, you'll probably find your feet a bit more sort of thing. But it is good to have those like, vague foundations of something or someone.
Exactly, yeah. It's nice to just have at least a voice nailed down.
Yeah.
It was easy for our last campaign because we were basically set in like steampunk Wild West. So everybody was talking like this. Everybody.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me.
For
recently,
a year straight.
I played Broken Sword, like the remastered one, but it's still a game from like the 90s. I think it was like 97 or something. So some of it has not aged well.
Mm-hmm.
And it did that typical thing. I guess at the time it was quite like a small studio making it. So they only really hired, I think, American voice actors. Maybe there were British. I think maybe it's a British game studio actually, but it takes place in France.
Oh.
I don't think there were any French voice actors. And then you go to Ireland. There are no Irish voice actors.
Oh no, I can only imagine.
It just keeps on, like, you go to like several other places. I won't spoil it, but because I would love for you to play it. But it just, every time I went to a new place, I was just like, how bad is this going to be? And it is that real typical thing of, like, you know, you go to Ireland and everyone is like, top to morning to you.
No.
And you're just like, okay.
My goodness.
Sometimes roleplay accents are fun.
Sometimes.
I always, like, the last accent I tried to do kept on just like moving around. It was meant to be American, but it just went to several different places. I was just like, my character's very well traveled. I don't know.
What was that
around a lot when I was a child. That was the Cthulhu thing.
Yeah. I was when I was on Mystery Quest, I was going to try and do like a northern accent, but Lydia was going to be northern as well. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just be like London because I can just do that. It's easy.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, Lydia was like, I can't do this anymore. So Lydia started doing a London accent, and then Simon was doing a London accent, and it was just like, we all just sound the same. We were like, all right, love. I like having an accent though, like when role playing. It really helps to sort of get into it, even if it's a silly one. Like,
yeah, it sort of separates. It's easier to say, like, you know, if I'm saying like, my character goes here and does this and blah blah blah, instead of, you know, being able to just be like, all right, come on, gang, let's go over there, wrap the apples and pears. And you're just like, it just gives you that bit more flavor to it rather than just, you know, it being your own voice, even if it is terrible and slipping up all the time.
It's like when we did that little bit of Pathfinder with you, like I was like, I want an accent, but, you know, this character is not fleshed out. So I'm just going to be Australian. I'm just going to jump straight into it. What's up, guys? Welcome to the party. Let's go on an adventure. And it's like, bam, I'm in. Let's go. And like, there was one I did with my D&D group where I played my halfling Prune, who was my first D&D character. I just brought her back, and I was like, yeah, she's kind of a bitch. Like, she's going to be sassy. And when I played with her originally, my DM at the time made a joke that all halflings in his world were French, and I would have to do a French accent. And I was like, no. But then when I had to play her this time, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do a terrible French accent the whole time. So I did. And it was like constant sass, but in an awful, awful French accent.
Yeah.
It just is so much fun. It is so much fun.
It's like, it can sometimes feel bad to, like, I don't know if you find this when you're learning a language on Duolingo, but when you're trying to like repeat back the sentences to Duo, there are times when I'm like, I'll say something and it's just like, sorry, what was that? Huh? And then I have to just do like an over-exaggerated accent for it to be like, oh, okay, I see what you mean now.
I see what you get there.
I'm just like, but sometimes you just feel really like, I don't ever want to do this in public.
Yeah.
And then people have been saying like, oh, you should do like a Duolingo stream. And I'm like, I don't know how well that would go down.
I've tried it. Like, I've done a little bit of Duolingo on stream, and I have Swedish people in my chat, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys, because I think part of it is because I'm streaming. There's just like a mental block, and I can't do the accent properly, and I would just end up fumbling my words and just saying them over and over and over again. There's a joke in my chat. The O with the two dots. I don't know the name of the sound, but in Swedish it's like a and I kept on chatting and now every time that people come into my chat and they go hello. And they post like the cough cat emote, and it makes me laugh every time because I'm just so bad at reading in different languages. Oh dear.
Well, the one I had recently was I could not get like French pronunciation out of my head when I was trying to, because I'm doing German on Duolingo, and it wanted me to say like the city is very interesting or something, and interesting in German is interessant.
What city in German?
I kept
is
on being
like
interessant.
Interessant.
I was just like, no, why? like, I struggle to learn a language I struggle with my own language as it is. Why must my brain then just be like, what if I just threw random words at you in other languages when you're trying to learn?
Is city in German Stadt?
Yeah.
So is it die or der Stadt?
Die Stadt
Die Stadt
sehr interessant.
Interessant. See, I learned German from year 7 to year 9.
Okay.
And then French from year 9 to year 10. And then I dropped it. So I have the same issue. And my German teacher was French. So
well, my German teacher was Scottish. So my idea of how you pronounce things is very off.
I went into my year 7 German lessons. And yeah, she started with, well, you're all going to be learning German with a French accent. So good luck. This is so great. Okay, cool. Very good. But yeah, I have like the same issue where my brain always defaults back to German or back to French, especially with Swedish, because a lot of the words are very similar to German. Like Brett, what? Brot, Stadt, Stad. Just there's just lots.
I think Brot is bread in German, but it doesn't have the little.
It doesn't have
in Swedish.
An
it
accent.
has the dots, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like brud, broad, brot.
And isn't got good in Swedish, and then gut is
got good. It's got good. I thought it was bruh or brew.
Bruh.
I thought it was bruh because I'm like bruh every time I want to say something good. No, that might be.
Well, I went to.
Sorry, Rythian.
Sorry, all of Sweden, Germany,
Sweden.
And France.
I see. This is why when I do Duolingo on stream, it falls apart because if I'm recording or streaming, everything leaves my brain. But if I were to stop the recording now, go to Duolingo and do a thing, I would just absolutely zip through the lesson, and everything would come back to me. But if I'm trying to talk about it, my brain's like, no, you're going to look silly instead. I'm like,
why not just look silly?
Just look silly. Just look like you don't care about it. I'm like,
for my birthday a couple of years ago, when would this have been? I can't think. 2017, I think. I went to a place in Stavanger, called Gottbrod, and I think that meant good bread. But I might have been wrong. I might be wrong.
You're probably right. Hang on, let me.
Stavanger. I think it was in Stavanger. Oh, but then again, that was in Norway.
Yeah, bra,
not
BRA
Sweden.
is good, but I think God is also good. Yeah, they both been good.
Yeah, that was the other thing I got confused with because when I was learning like Guten Morgen, and then I kept on thinking like God Moran, and I was just like, I just cannot language. I cannot.
Yeah. I think German is the one that my brain reverts to the most because it's the one I started learning when I was 11. And I don't know German, but there are just choice phrases, Hallo, guten Morgen, wie geht's? And, just little things. And you're trying to read in a different language and it's like the German just seeps in and I'm like, no, get out of here.
Yeah, I guess I have it the other way around because I mostly learned French and I've like been to France more.
Yeah.
Because that's where we used to go on holiday. Not that we ever spoke French, really. It would be like, frites, s'il vous plaît.
Frites, s'il vous plaît. And they go, okay.
They'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
here you go. You're like, oh, thank you. Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes.
Of course I do. I guess what see, I can say sprechen Sie Deutsch, but I can't say, I guess, sprechen Sie English.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Because it's taught me like I can say I'm from Austria or I'm from Canada and all of this stuff, but it never taught me I'm from England. So I don't actually know how to say that.
When you said sprechen Sie English, my brain just went Angleterre. And I'm like, no. No.
Jag talar inte svenska.
Oh
dear.
God. It's just
I just wish that like teaching languages because like so many people have been saying in my chat, like, oh, don't worry, like most places speak English because we learn it for like 4 years in school. And I'm just like, we learn languages for years in school and we learn nothing.
Yeah,
like,
we learn
what is
absolutely
it about
bugger all.
Like education in this country that makes language learning just, I guess, is it because do we just have this sense of superiority of just like everyone's going to learn our language so we won't bother teaching? Or like, what is it?
I don't know.
Is it just a poor education system because our education is based on repeat for exams? It's not actually trying to teach you anything. It's just making you into a parrot. Like, what is it?
That's probably part of it.
Why is it so bad?
Because literally, I learned German for 3 years and I couldn't tell you a damn thing. Like and the only things I really remember learning were like greetings and like where is the library and stuff like that. It's like literally like Duolingo, and it's just like and then again, like you learn like the, you know, this is the feminine, this is the masculine, this is the neuter, stuff like that. But then that's all for exams. Then you do your exam. It was like spelling, I think. Like you'd cover it up and then you'd write. But as soon as that was done, it was like, okay, that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I think like we would have like our written and then the oral exam where all you would have to do is be like, I wake up and I brush my hair and I go to school, and that would be it. And I always used to get mixed up between the word for hair and horse. So I'm pretty sure in my oral exam I said, in the morning I wake up and I brush my horse and I go to school. They're thinking, wow, she's fancy.
That's cool.
Because one's cheval and one is chevaux. I can't remember. It's something like that. They're like quite similar.
Cheval is horse, I think.
I brush my horse every day.
Hang on, I'm on Google Translate for this entire thing. Cheval. Yeah, I remember that because I think Panic at the Disco had a song.
Oh.
But
did you ever do the like songs in school? Like for German, we had to learn Ich habe ein Pony.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. I'll see if I can find. It was like Ich habe ein Pony. Ich habe zwei Kaninchen. Ich habe, and then I can't remember the third one ever. But yeah, we used to have that. And then in French, it was Je me lève, je me lave, je me brosse ma dent, which is I get up, I wash, I brush my teeth, and then it's blah 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 blah.
That would have helped. That would have helped so much.
Au revoir, maman. I can't remember what you do in between the croissant and say goodbye to your mum.
That would have helped so much. Like that's such a good way to learn.
Yeah, so this is why I'm sort of like trying to listen to Rammstein a bit. Because I'm like, maybe it'll go in.
Oh my god!
But I think as well, like listening to like when I know a bit more, I would like to start doing things like watching episodes of Bluey that I've watched. But you could there's a channel that is literally just German Bluey, and it's just a Bluey with a voiceover, and I'm like, maybe that sort of thing, because then you're actually learning it conversationally and said by different voices and stuff like that. Because the thing is, like, Duolingo would be perfect if you went to a country and the conversations you had were, coffee, please. Coffee is here.
My pizza is too cold.
Please. Yeah. Like, one of the sentences it tried to teach me was, the bread is too delicious. I'm like, when am I going to use that? Sorry, can you take this away and give me some shitter bread, please? Like, it's just too delicious.
He has a bike and I have a refrigerator.
Oh, one of the ones it keeps giving me is like, you are tall and I am nice. Or like,
I get that.
I am smart.
I am smart and you are funny.
Dear, oh dear. Oh, there was something I wanted to mention that is completely unrelated, but I was wondering if you'd heard about it. Have you heard about the ADHD tone?
No.
Okay, so there's this
Am I about to be called out?
No, it's basically just this tone.
The white
when
noise.
I was scrolling. Yeah, but it's just like
yes.
and you're meant to like not be able to think whilst it's like this is just an off switch for thoughts. And it's one of those things. I listened to it the other day and I was like, I hate the noise, but at the same time,
it's nice.
I'm not thinking about it. And I played it to Trot yesterday, and he was like, I hate it and it hurts my ears, but also I'm like, my head is so empty. It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's just like, because like for the first time when I heard it, it was like, I'm not playing 2 different songs at the same time in my head, and I'm not having 5 different thoughts, and I'm not just, and it was just like, I don't like it, but also I sort of like it.
I wonder,
it's like a weighted blanket for your brain.
It kind of is. I wonder how like doing Duolingo would be if you had that playing, because I don't think it like stops you thinking, but it just sort of stops all the extra thoughts, you know?
All of the comments were, all I'm thinking is, am I thinking right now? Alex uses this thing because when he's doing his writing, he listens to this thing that just sounds like, wow, 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 wow. And it drives me crazy. But he says it's like this focus noise thing, and it's from this website that you can change like the pitch and the rapidity and all of that stuff.
Oh.
And he says that just really helps him focus, but maybe it helps him focus because I leave the room when he puts it on and he can actually do stuff. Because it's just something about it just really like, I'm just like, oh no, I have to leave. So maybe it's just like, it's the briny clearer. He can get on with things. This is another thing I'm curious about, because this is something else that Alex and I differ on. Do you think it is romantic and sweet to say that you want to climb inside someone's skin?
No.
Oh.
But I feel like you'll be the one that wants to do that.
Yeah. We'll be cuddling and I'm just like, I just want to like break open your chest and climb in so we can be closer. And he's just like, what the heck? And I'm just like, it's a nice thing. I mean it in a nice way. Just let me crawl inside you.
Oh my God.
Is it just me?
I think it might be. Oh no, I'm sure there are some people out there on the internet that would agree.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day and they were like, I've realized that touch is my love language and I feel like you are the same because I too want to climb inside people. I was just like, thank you. Just sometimes like you're cuddling, but you're just like, I could just do with being like closer. I just want to wear you. Oh my gosh.
I just want to wear your skin in a loving way.
So we can be together.
Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't actually do it, but you know, I guess it's just like cuteness, aggression, but just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fine because he can play this tone now and
that's it. If he's ever scared,
like
he can put the tone
crows away.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so funny. We went on such a tangent. We didn't talk about the dream at all. We just talked about Pathfinder and then languages.
Well, we talked about Minotaurs first.
And Minotaurs. Well, yeah.
A Minotaur and then a detour. That's what today's episode was.
That would be a good title if we didn't have an established naming scheme.
Time to mix it up.
Minotaurs and detours.
Minotaurs and detours. That's like legends and lattes and those other naming conventions. It's like when you see those things where people are like, I went into the bookshop and I asked for a romantasy that's something like a do of do and do. And they're just like, do you mean this one or this one or this one or this? We've run out of time.
We have run out of time.
But I had
what were you going to say?
Ramble. Maybe this is a bad point to bring up right at the end. I got a book recently and it had content warning in the beginning. And though I appreciate it, I wish it was done in a way that I could check it if I wanted to. Because basically I just read a list of spoilers for the book.
You were saying this before, like about Goodreads, right? And how that does the same thing.
Because I was like, it's a book that I already had one thing spoiled for me on Goodreads. So I was like, do I still want to read this? Yes, I've bought it. So I was like, I'll just read the first page and like see if I'm vibing with it. Because I've chosen to read another book now. which is the Day of the Triffids with the willies that I sent you. But
sorry, where?
I sent you there's a quote from Day of the Triffids.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember.
Okay, for context, where is this quote? So this is, I don't know when it was written. Was it like 1926 or something? I can't think. But the quote is, "But I certainly was getting the willies, and once you get them, they grow. It came at last to the straight question: was I more scared of endangering my sight by taking off the bandages, or of staying in the dark with the willies growing every minute?" Which I found out because I looked it up because I got curious. And it comes from back when they had like woolen underwear, and it would make you feel really like as in like underclothes, and it would make you feel all like itchy and uncomfortable in your skin. And that was where it was like originally the woolies, and then it became the willies, which, once they're in you, they grow, according to John Wyndham. But yeah, it was just, I wish there was a place you could go to if you want, because I fully appreciate the need for trigger warnings and content warnings and that sort of stuff. But also, when they're in books and it's things that were like so specific, like for instance, it may have well have said like, best friend death or something, and you're like, well, as soon as I meet their best friend, I know they're going to die.
Yeah, literally, that's
it's stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, it's like, well, why can you not put this at like the back of the book so that people can know that it's like have a note that just says content warnings are in the back, and not have it next to the front page so you see it immediately when you open the book. Dear. Oh, but that was just my little ramble.
It's a good ramble. Very justified.
Also, we talk about dreams sometimes.
Dreams, yeah. I've had a dream once.
I'm jealous. The tons have tabled.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you for a very lovely chat, Kirsty.
Oh, thank you for a very lovely chat. And again, I'm sorry to everyone who knows another language that had to suffer through our terrible pronunciation, or my terrible pronunciation.
Oh, mine was bad too. And I'm sorry for everyone who listens to this podcast to find out about dreams.
I'm sorry to everyone who listens to this podcast, full stop.
Just a blanket apology.
Yeah.
To everyone. There we go. We've covered all bases.
We've covered,
now.
Yep, all the bases covered. See you next week.
Yeah. Well, until next time, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.